All right, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Stirring the Podcast. I am Bobo, and I'm here with my good friend Dirty Rob.
What's up?
Don't ask why they call him that. Anyway, basically, this is just going to be your typical interview type podcast for just get start with, and well, it's going to go from there. Rob,
Yes, sir.
how are you tonight?
I have a rash on my dick. I had sex, fell asleep, then went to work right away the next day.
You didn't wash it off?
Didn't wash it off clean enough, so yeah.
It happens. We've
But
been
you know,
there.
I'm all better now, so.
We've all been there.
It's all cleared up.
We've all been there. So anyway, the world is a pretty fucked up place right now, huh?
Oh my God. One thing that was actually kind of cool is today I got home, checked the mail, and that guy from The Apprentice sent me $600. So I cashed that.
Oh wow.
That was pretty sweet. I like that.
Okay.
Did you get any cash?
My dad is actually calling me on the phone. Unfortunately, I cannot answer it right now.
What if he's dying?
I really hope that's not the case. I'll feel terrible.
The podcast is more important. The show must go on, Dad.
Well, anyway, so last week some crazy shit happened at the Capitol. You saw that?
I did see that.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. It's pretty fucked up that people are trying to press anarchy as a way of solving an issue like that. Like, okay, we're not getting what we want, so let's just destroy everything. You know, let's break in there, let's run around with rebel flag, and I don't know, people got shot. But the thing that bothered me the most is that I was down in the riot in Sioux Falls here, down at the mall. I got hit with, like pepper spray, tear gas. They were shooting stuff at us, beanbag, projectiles, everything else. I didn't personally see any of that shit, and they're walking through the Capitol. I was walking through the mall parking lot. So, I don't know. I think that's pretty messed up.
Yeah, it was wild shit.
Yeah. What's your thoughts?
I thought it was pretty fucked up. I know I'm a person that advocates for freedom, pretty fucking often, but like I kind of felt like that was pretty wild. I could see it from their perspective, like if you really truly believed that like there was this big conspiracy against America and that like all these people were trying to pull some crazy shady shit, I could see why you'd be upset. People that love America,
Yeah.
imagine that you really were like, if that's how you really felt and that's how that shit went, I could see why people would be upset.
Yeah.
That being said, I've looked through so much of the information, quote unquote, that they're putting out that says that there's election fraud, and I cannot. Believe me, I would love to find election fraud.
Yeah.
I would love to call out corruption of the Democrats, the Republicans, whoever it
Yeah.
is. I think it's important to call up corruption on any level, even if it's your own people. Because if you can't hold your own people accountable, what the fuck are you even doing? You can't.
true.
You can't tell somebody something if you can't hold your own people accountable.
It's absolutely true, and I think it's funny that the same people that wanted people to not be able to go to no-fly list, those are kind of rules, and they need to go to prison, are now the people that are on the no-fly list and are going
Devin.
to prison.
Can you find that video of that dude that's at the airport and he's like crying because they're calling him a terrorist?
I've seen that. I like that.
I feel like that would be really cool if you could find that. Anyway.
Yeah, looking it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think shit be crazy.
Absolutely.
People,
Absolutely.
I think people need to go outside more. I think that taking away a lot of the public events and concerts and everything else really, really made people turn to different things, and it wasn't a healthy turn.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
You can get how many people together in one big room for a concert, all singing the exact same song in harmony and having a great time. And now you can't even get 5 people to get along, whether one should be wearing a mask or not, or they should be 6 feet apart, or what the fuck's going on.
I agree. We got the video pulled
There's
up.
the video.
Let's play it.
Treat me like a black person. Gonna get sprayed.
Oh my god.
This hurts! This hurts!
You got somebody come take
My
you.
children are not quite ready for facility.
No problem. How many you have? How many is it?
I have 4 children here.
Okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
I love every single one of you.
This is actually a lot more videos than this is the one.
They kicked me off the plane. They called me a fucking terrorist. And then what?
Called me a fucking terrorist.
Well, were you terrorizing? Yes.
Kick these people off the plane because they support President Trump. And you got all these fuck standing
Did you
around
see the lady that had that?
doing nothing.
onion in her
30
hand?
cops over here.
Fuck no. I did not see that.
All these police everywhere. Because they were waiting for these people to get put off the plane because they support President Trump.
The feds have been busy rounding.
Anyway, that's good enough. Thank you. By the way, that's Devin. He's my good friend, and he is producing this show. And he's going to help with a lot of different things, and hopefully we can do a lot of cool things together.
Thank you very much, Mr. Devon.
Thank you guys. It's awesome to be here.
Yeah.
So what else have you been up to?
Man, I have been trying to figure out how to do a podcast.
Yeah?
So I've spent many hours over the last few weeks writing things down, throwing things away, whether it was a good idea or a bad idea or not. But I mean, overall, I just wanted to. I was like, I just got to do it. I got to do this first episode, and I thought it was really important to have somebody on that was a friend of mine. Someone that I could have a conversation with, just in general.
We do have the same name.
The two Robs.
The two Robs.
It's interesting.
It is.
The best thing since wrestling.
So when your parents tell you who were you named after, what'd they tell you?
I know that there was like a family friend or something like that.
Okay.
If I remember the story correctly.
Right.
And then my middle name was partially like named after my grandpa. But they changed it a little bit because like I don't know, there was something about the original name or something that they didn't want me to have exactly the same or something.
Okay.
Anyway.
My mom watched a lot of My Three Sons, and apparently there was a Robbie on there. And my dad is a big Led Zeppelin fan, so he's like,
Oh, sure.
Robert Plant, we can do that shit. So that's kind of fun.
Sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Did you see all the shit going on with Tom DeLonge?
Man, I see a lot of things going on with Tom DeLonge all the time.
If you don't know who Tom DeLonge is, Tom DeLonge was the guitar player for Blink-182 before Skiba. And he went from joking about aliens to straight up like making documentaries about aliens and chasing around places and fucking what's at Area 51 and everything else.
Well, I remember there was that video, is the Navy video with like the Tic Tac UFOs and stuff or whatever, and he was like one of the first people to talk about that. He had something on the Rogan podcast, and he was showing it on there. And then like just this last year, they actually had that Navy pilot on there that was actually the one flying the plane, and it was kind of crazy. Like if you ever get a chance to see that video, these craft are moving at incredible rates of speed, like almost instantaneously moving like thousands of meters in like a split second, like disappearing and reappearing completely on the other side of you. And like no craft that is humanly possible that we know of, at least right now, could even ever do that.
Don't you think that I think that's one of the most fucked up things of 2020 is that we found out that aliens were real. People are just like, huh. Would you guys do you guys watch the game last night? They're like, no, aliens are real. They like there's UFOs. They're showing this shit. It's real.
Oh yeah.
You know, I never believed in that. I never believed in ghosts. I don't know if you believe in ghosts or not.
Oh yeah, definitely.
See, I was down at
Patrick Swayze.
yeah, I was down at the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, and that's where Stephen King wrote, The Shining.
Oh sure.
And we decided it'd be a good idea to, go on a little ghost hunt. So we went around through the gardens and everything else, and my fiance, she actually played the owner of the Stanley Hotel, his wife's her piano, Steinberg piano, for like the 1930s.
Oh okay.
And like everything was cool. We finally went to our room, and we're falling asleep, watching TV. And I probably had 4 beers left, and they were bottled beers in a case, sitting next to the door, and just about to fall asleep. And boom, all 4 of them fell over, like got slammed down. And I'm just like, holy shit, because I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in any of that shit. But in that moment, like just my heart stopped, freaked me the fuck out, and I had my Telecaster in the corner, and she says, "If you're in this room, hit the strings." I was like, "Don't fucking talk to it. Don't encourage it." And like I'm
Rule number 1.
yeah, don't talk. I'm laying there in bed, and this shit just happened, and now I gotta fall asleep. But the meaning is life, and this is. But yeah, I never believed in ghosts, never believed in aliens, and then all of a sudden, this shit got crazy. God.
Strangely enough, I've actually had some occurrences with Ouija boards.
Really?
Yeah. At one of Harley's old houses that he lived in, it was Harley and Tony and Rusty. They all lived there.
Man, I bet you that place was a fucking riot.
Holy shit. Oh,
Is that the place where you came down naked wearing only a Crown Royal bag over your balls?
100%.
I heard of that
No,
story.
that was here actually.
Oh, that was here.
No, that was here actually. Yeah. That's a real story as well. But no, we crazy thing was they made a Ouija board out of like plywood and like wrote all the symbols and stuff on there, and we were in Harley's bedroom or whatever, and like we did the whole little thing, and like we actually communicated with something, and that was pretty crazy.
Man. See, that shit's scary to me.
It is pretty scary. I'll never do anything like that again. To be
No.
honest, you probably shouldn't be fucking with spirits and demons.
Maybe you don't summon demons. I don't know. Maybe it's not on the to-do list. God.
Got to watch out for that demon semen.
And now look how crazy your firstborn is. You started something.
I mean, in all fairness, she's got about half of me and half of her mom, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be crazy someday.
100% wild.
She's a good kid.
Yeah, I gave her some candy before I walked in.
She was just talking about that earlier. He always gives me candy.
Yeah.
At least it's better that you are giving her candy though than like some random like stranger driving down the road.
Exactly. Yep. That's true, man. There's a lot of creepy shit going on. I thought I heard a gunshot. What was it? 2 nights ago? I was outside, and I thought I heard a gunshot. And I'm like, oh, I'm just hearing shit. And then, like, 10 minutes later, I heard sirens. And we live 3 blocks apart.
I hear gunshots or likely gunshots quite often.
And what's up with your neighbor?
He's crazy, man. He drinks and he drinks those malt liquor things, man. And
Does he really?
He just gets crazy.
Like Steel Reserve or King Cobra and shit like that?
I don't know specifics. I've definitely seen. I know that when you drink more than 1 or 2 of those things, like even some of my best friends become like unrecognizable individuals when they drink those things, man.
Those things are devil sauce.
He's also got that defibrillator thing in his heart. It's like that charges you like when you have like a heart incident or whatever. And he just doesn't take care of himself. You can see him. He's got the shakes all the time. He passes out drunk in his car all the time.
God. See, why don't they take the license away for somebody like that?
They got to catch him. They just got to catch him.
That's true.
That's what it comes down to.
Rumors alone.
Yeah. It's fucked up though.
It is pretty fucked up.
Like a lot of times we won't even like let our daughter like go outside if we know that he's good like out driving around. So like sometimes we have to go play between the houses on the other side just to hopefully be a little bit safer.
That sucks.
It sucks. It does.
Be a little bit of a prisoner in your own free world.
Somewhat, yeah.
God. So you've been into any new music lately?
Nothing really new so much, but I mean, I've been like learning Spanish.
What?
Like not like heavily every
¿Por
day.
qué?
No, but like a little bit every day. Like I know like words and some phrases and stuff like that, but I mean, I couldn't hold a conversation with someone.
Yeah, I can't either.
But I do know quite a few words, and like if I see something written, I can like translate that and like decipher a lot of stuff that's written out.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't like always speak it or remember it to speak it, and like that a lot of that is just not having really enough practice to do it in the first place. But I mean, it is what it is. I do work with a lot of Hispanic people, and they're all pretty cool about it though. Like they'll all help me and teach me, and so I mean that's really cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Have you been to Mexico?
No.
Oh man, I went to Nogales, Mexico one time. Me and my buddy did. We were down in Arizona working, and we got off early one day, and we're like, well, shit, we're like 20 miles from the border. Let's go to Nogales.
Sure.
So we go down to Mexico, and the first thing we did, we fucked up. We were renting an Enterprise truck. So you just drive into Mexico, and we're like looking around there's like no street signs, and we're like, dude, we're gonna get our Enterprise truck smashed up in Mexico, and that's not gonna get covered. So we're in line to leave Mexico. Big ass line. You can fucking just drive. Come on in, drive right in. Also, there's this big ass line, and I turned to my buddy and I was like, "Dude, do we need fucking passports?" He's, "Oh my god, I never even thought about that." So we're in line, and I asked this lady in the line next to us. I was like, "Do we need a passport to get out of Mexico?" She's like, "No, not yet." It's like, "Oh my god, good." So we got out. We parked at this McDonald's outside of Nogales. And we walked back in, and everywhere we went, like, my buddy was older than me, and we go in these little shops to get gifts for our kids, and they're always like, "Hey, you want to do some cocaine? We can do cocaine right here on the counter." And they said that to me, and everything else, and I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to do Mexican cocaine, you know? Like, it's not a racist thing, but fuck, I can barely handle American." And then they look at my buddy, they're like, "You need some Viagra? Huh? You want Viagra?" And he's like, "What the fuck? What if I want cocaine?" Like, just because he was older, like, you get your dick so hard, you know, I thought it was insane. And we said to one guy, we're like, yeah, sure, we'll do some coke. And, like, we don't have any cash, though. He's like, "Oh, there's an ATM around the corner. Let me have my buddy take you over there." And he talked to him in Spanish and everything else. And we start walking. He's like, "Yeah, follow me. And we're walking, and I start looking around. And there's more people starting to follow us. Now there's like 3 guys behind us. And finally I said, "Brett, there is no ATM over here. Like, look behind us." And there's this fucking cop showed up on a horse. And I'm not making this up. This cop showed up on this horse, big old fucking revolver. He's like, "Where are you going?" Like, "To the ATM." "There's no ATM. Go back over there." So we walked past these guys, and he was talking to those guys and everything else. I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." So we're getting ready to leave. And this skinny ass little white chick came flying up to the fence, and there was like some National or Guard guys further down, fucking slid underneath this like little fence deal and ran into Mexico. What the fuck did she do in America where she snuck into Mexico? I still don't know, but fucking it was scary. I'd like to go to a tropical place, but man, don't fucking go to Nogales. That shit is scary. Fuck. But I would love to learn Spanish.
It's an interesting language. It's very cool. I use the Duolingo app. I mean, it's free. So I mean,
I'm Dutch, and I try to learn a little bit of Dutch, but it just sounds so fucking weird that I just like, yeah, I will never use that.
I know my uncle had taught me some Dutch a long time ago because he's in the Air Force for a long time, and he'd been in a bunch of different countries.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that he had taught me some, but I don't quite remember it all right now. I remember that it's something to do with like calling people a farmer or something like that, and that's like the most disrespectful thing you could call someone in Dutch or something like that.
I learned today in Latin, Lucifer means morning star. So in the earlier Testament, they called Jesus Lucifer. But if it got translated in English, he was referred to as morning star. Because there's this theory that he is Lucifer. Yeah, fucking TikTok, you know?
TikTok.
Things you learn on the toilet. Are you on TikTok yet?
No, I don't really. I'm not really into that kind of thing.
Are you on like Twitter or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, I'm on Twitter. Just Twitter and Facebook. I don't even use Facebook that much anymore,
Yeah.
just because like a lot of it has just become people that can't even have conversations. They can't even have a little argument without like unfriending like someone or be like.
They can't respect the other person's point.
Well, yeah, like everyone's trying to convince their point, but like a lot of times you just need to have an understanding. Like obviously there's certain things that you probably can't, non-negotiable, you know, and stuff like that, but at the same rate, just treating people with respect goes a long way. Like
I know, and people get so worked up about, you know, like Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, all that kind of stuff, and it's almost like a witch hunt. Because I work with a guy, and he's always asking me questions about politics and everything else. And I guess to the point where I just read during my lunch breaks and my, you know, during my coffee breaks, whatever. I'll sit there and I'll read a book or my guitar magazine, and he'll just start stuff. And any day he'll be on any political side, whatever one that you're not on. He'll be on the other one just to argue with you.
he's the devil's advocate.
All right, and it's just like, oh man, like if you could have a decent quality conversation with somebody and disagree and move on, it'd be so much better for people to talk about this shit. Like you walk up and like this Capitol thing. If you walk to somebody and you're like, yo, what's your favorite food? And they're like, macaroni and cheese. Fuck you, macaroni and cheese is stupid, and so are you, you ignorant piece of shit. Pizza's better. You know, people get so worked up about this one thing. I think it's because people have a shallow mentality where they think that everybody else is wrong.
Sure.
This is my beliefs, and if you don't believe that, you are the problem. And I feel the same way about religion. You know, a lot of people, I'm an atheist, and a lot of people you say that to, and they're just like, "Oh my God, don't you have kids?" Yes, and they've never been molested because I don't bring them to church. You know, it's like I don't know what you want me to say. Yeah, I have kids. What if they want to be Christians? They can do as they please. That's absolutely up to them. I don't care. I'm not gonna say you're not my son if you go to church. I don't care, man. You make your own choices. I'm just gonna say that I'm not about it. You know?
Absolutely. I think that's a fair point. If they would like to subscribe to some form of religion at some point in their lives, fine. That's up to you.
Yeah.
I personally don't really subscribe to any beliefs. I have beliefs, but I don't subscribe to anything. I personally just think that my beliefs are my own, and I share them with some people, but I mean, like, most people wouldn't care to know them in the first place. I mean, why would you? Why waste someone's time? You know?
Right. I mean, if I were to meet a real straight up Satanist, Devin, are you a Satanist? He does have a long beard. No. All right. But if I were to meet a real Satanist, like, I'd have a fucking pile of questions for them. I have questions, you know? I want answers. But I'm not ever going to be like, you can't come to my house. You know, we can't play Madden together. You know, we can't be friends because you believe this. It's like, I don't get it.
A lot of the beliefs of Satanists actually they actually hold themselves to higher morals than most other people. Like,
really?
There's parts of other religions where they encourage like rape and stuff, and like when the woman who gets raped, they're like the problem and stuff, and they're like looked down upon and stuff when like they didn't ask to get raped.
Well, we don't know how she was dressed.
Wow.
No. But I'm saying that, yeah, it's absolutely insane that there's actual laws like that. Like, I heard something the other day about when the big AIDS rush in Africa was going on. they thought that you could cure AIDS by having sex with a virgin. Like that somehow, like redoes everything. It resets the clock. It's like I don't understand some of the crazy religions and stuff like that, but it's interesting to me to find out that some of these Satanist people have higher standards than I do as an atheist. You know, it's
Maybe not necessarily as you do, but like obviously, a lot of people of the Christian faith have decided that like raping of children is not a deal breaker.
wow, that's scary.
And obviously, like that's not like our parents and stuff aren't like cool with that kind of thing. But like,
Yeah.
in people in like higher echelons of power,
Yeah.
they obviously don't really care. They cover things up more often than they do
Yeah, dude.
actually prosecute anyone. Like more just recently, within like the last few years, has anything ever been done to a lot of these priests, and they're still getting off in more ways than one.
That's scary shit to think about. Yeah, the world's pretty fucked right now.
Pretty fucked.
What do you think the cure is for the insanity, the capital, all the crazy stuff that's going on? I'm just now starting to learn about the Freemasons. That shit's fucking scary.
I guess there's some deep like stuff about them. I mean, it all really depends. Like a lot of people label things like conspiracy theorists and stuff like that. But I think that if there's information around something, there's nothing wrong with looking into that. I mean, if you're a person that wants to search for truth, you should at least be able to look and find out if these things are like not true as well.
Yeah.
But as soon as you bring up some of these things, people just get so disrespected, and it's like you don't have to feel that way.
You can't ask a question?
Yeah, I can't ask a question. I thought this was America.
Is this America?
Isn't this America? I thought this was America.
I hear no bell. But yeah, that's why I like you. Because I can come over here, and we've always had this, where we could just talk freely about any subject, and even if we disagree, it's just like, I respect your point.
Absolutely.
I respect your opinion, man. That's cool. You keep doing that. You keep thinking that playing NBA games are better than playing football games, and I'll disagree.
It's true. It's true,
See,
though.
and I fucking totally disagree.
There's like a lot more basketball games too. This
But yeah, that's the thing. It's just like we have so much in common, but we have little pieces of us that are different, and that's what's fun. Because otherwise, everybody would be the same fucking boring ass snowflake. Everybody would be that. I'm using that as an actual representation of the crystallized form from the sky, a genre of people. I forgot that that's a new slang term for insulting people.
Yes.
But yeah,
yes.
everybody would be the exact same replica over and over again, and that'd be so boring. Like the movie Ants or Bug's Life, where they're all dancing the exact same way.
Those movies were good though.
Yeah, they were good. A lot of good messages in there.
Early good animation at its finest.
Yes, grasshoppers are fucking dicks. That's what I learned.
I didn't like grasshoppers growing up, and
They scared the fuck out of you. They jump on you.
they
And they
spit
put
that black stuff.
Yeah, that purple black shit on you.
Yeah.
I never knew what the fuck that was. Like,
Someone
what?
told me
still
at a
don't.
young age that it was tobacco juice, but it's like obviously not tobacco juice.
It's Grandpa's Copenhagen. So this guy goes to the doctor, and this guy wakes up in the morning. He's taking a piss, and he sees a red ring around the base of his dick and a brown one. And he's like, "What the fuck?" So he goes to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Well, I got good news and I got bad news." He's like, "All right." He goes, "Well, the red ring is lipstick." He's like, "Ah, cool." It's like, "Bad news, the brown ring is Copenhagen." So take that as you want, but that's whenever I hear about Chew, that's the joke I always think of. So that's Have you ever tried Chew?
I chewed for a short period of time off and on in my early like 17, 18, 19, and 20 era.
Yeah.
Like sour apple skull.
I didn't know they made that.
Yeah, they probably still do.
Yeah.
I don't recommend it. I don't recommend any of it.
I was working, but new music. I just discovered this guy named Alex the Terrible, and he's the lead singer of Slaughter to Prevail. And this guy sounds like every movie ever that has Satan talking in it. Like, this guy is absolute insanity the way this guy sounds. I'll have to look it up for you, but if you haven't heard this guy talk before, It's like it's unreal. I don't know much about metal music. The hat that I'm wearing is Earth Groans, and that's like the only big time metal band that I'll listen to, because the guy who writes and records all the music records all of our music.
Sure.
So Jeremy Schaefer out in Scotland, South Dakota, at
Oh,
All
yeah.
Poetic Studio. Does all of our stuff.
I've not recorded anything with him, but I played a show with him one time, and
Yeah.
Earth Groans was incredible.
They are hard.
Very, very.
But as far as new music, that's one guy to check out. His voice is super duper scary.
Yeah, he's really good. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the new guy, not Jeremy.
Alex Terrible.
Oh,
Jeremy's
incredible.
He's brutal.
And he's usually got a pretty cool mustache going on.
Yes.
Some type of really cool facial
yes,
hair.
he wins a couple mustache competitions. He's got the awards for him in the studio and everything else.
Sure.
He got this big handlebar thing that goes on. But yeah, the guy is super chill. I like him a lot. But hardcore Christian. And he and I get along great, you know?
Sure.
It's fun to have people like that in your life.
Absolutely.
You know? I don't know if I'm a Republican or a Democrat or a Libertarian, because everybody that's ever talked to me about these things have always been so one-sided that I was not allowed to have an actual opinion during the conversation.
Sure.
So I never ever really got into it. So
Puts a
that's why-
shitty taste in your mouth when you're not allowed to
Yeah.
ask questions,
yeah,
I suppose.
whenever you ask a question, you know, they're like, "Oh, you like your guns? Huh? You like them? You want them taken away? Or, hey, do you want your kids get thrown in cages?" Or it's just like there's sides to everything. So that's why I was happy that you invited me over here, so you could actually like explain to me a little bit more, you know, what goes on in these realms, these worlds, you know, this Bloods and Crips. That's all I see.
That's what it is,
Red and
pretty much.
blue. It's just Bloods and Crips. And then apparently libertarians are like Latin kinks. I see you're wearing yellow.
Libertarians encompass a wide spectrum of beliefs. The easiest way I could put it is that they're very much in favor of limited government. In some cases, many libertarians are in favor of no government at all.
So mild anarchy.
Well, in some cases, yes. But a lot of people hear that term anarchy, and I think they're turned off immediately. But they don't necessarily realize that, like, if you had a group of individuals that with similar ideals, that you could get people to do things like, for instance, imagine that all the money that they take out of taxes, imagine that you had that money to yourself and you could choose what you do with that.
That'd be rad.
Like,
I
what
would
if you
like
had
that.
choices of, like, what you were allowed to do with your money? I mean, this isn't necessarily, like, all libertarian viewpoints, but I've spent a lot of time learning, and the easiest way I can describe it is that it's what I subscribe to more than anything else.
Yeah.
I believe in freedom. I believe that the government shouldn't be involved in a lot of your decisions. That doesn't necessarily mean that, like, I'm a science denier or anything like that. I firmly believe in facts and knowledge, and I think that's incredibly important. The truth's important.
Yeah.
You can tell a lie however many times you want, but that doesn't make it true. You know what I mean?
Like George Costanza says, it's not a lie if you believe it.
No, but I mean, overall, one of the most important things about the libertarian values is the non-aggression principle.
Oh, okay.
Basically, what that means is there's a lot more to it than this, but if I gave you, like, the dumbed down version, it's that you don't do something to, like, harm other people, and we don't believe in using force.
Well, that's pretty chill.
Like, Devin said this a couple of times. He said, good ideas do not require force.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's more like a bully standpoint anyways. If you don't do this, we're going to fucking spray you and, you know, shoot you. You know, I get that. I understand that. I get that kind of shit. Because, yeah, I wondered about that today. I was like, he's a libertarian. I don't even know what the fuck that is. And
That doesn't mean these people don't argue, though. I mean, I would say libertarians probably argue more than anyone else. I think Devin could probably attest to that. The difference is, though, that's a part of having your own opinion and freedom in the first place is having those types of conversations. We can disagree on a lot of things.
You're allowed to have the conversation.
Yeah, as long as you're not forcing me to do something that I don't want to do, or
Yeah.
you're not forcing my family or trying to hurt me or hurt my own. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want. I don't care what you put in your body. I don't care. You can believe whatever you want.
Yeah, religion is like having a penis. Just because you have one doesn't mean you shove it down my throat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Libertarians are pretty cool though. I've met so many cool people there and like wide varieties of beliefs. I've heard things that I never thought I would hear anyone say, and I've heard a lot of things that I agree with. So I mean, I guess that's what I subscribe to more than anything. What I do know is that the problems that have happened have come as the result of only having two choices.
Yeah.
And it's never even two good choices.
True.
It's always just like, well, if you vote for this guy, you're going to get this. So vote for me so that doesn't happen. It's never about the best package. It's always more about I'm not that guy. I'm not that person. I'm not the other individual. I'm not the other side of the aisle. So vote for me if you care about America. Yeah. And both sides like to pretend that they all care about America more than the other side. And it's like, I think that's boxing too many people into one group. I think that people should be able to care how they want.
Well, let me ask you this. Are your parents divorced?
Yes.
Okay. So it feels like, whose house do you want to go to?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. It feels like that. It's like, well, if you stay here, you'll do this.
Sure.
And if you go there, you're going to go, you don't love me anymore. You're going to go to them. Or if you go there, you don't love us. You know, it feels like that when people are trying to talk to me about politics. So I'm just like, I'm getting my own fucking house. You know,
I'm getting my own fucking.
I'm getting
I
my
like
own
that.
fucking house. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore.
I like
you
that.
Know?
Another cool thing that I've always heard recently from libertarians is libertarians just believe that gay farmers should be able to protect their marijuana with guns.
And they can grow hemp in South Dakota.
You can grow hemp in South Dakota. I saw today, actually, that the legislature, someone from the legislature in South Dakota commented that the program is rolling out, that they'd already had two growers and a manufacturer that had applied or whatever and had already been approved.
Fuck yeah.
So, I mean,
that's solid.
The thing about hemp is it's actually a pretty viable product. The only reason that it was made illegal in the first place was back during like the Red Scare times and stuff, the communism and stuff. There was a senator that had an interest in, I want to say it was a paper mill or something like that. I might have the specifics off a little bit, but long story short, like you could make paper out of hemp, and it was like, I'm pretty sure that was the gist of it, was that like hemp was putting him out of business. So what they did was they lumped hemp and marijuana together and outlawed them. And so actually, the thing is, there's like a thing called like a drug stamp or whatever that you could actually get. So if you like had that on your weed, you would be legal to have it. But the problem is the government's never issued that stamp to anyone. They don't. There's no way to apply for it and no way to get it. It's not attainable.
I always thought that's so funny whenever you read in the newspaper that the person got busted with, weed or whatever it is. And they charge them all this shit. And then one thing they charge them with is not having a drug stamp. It's like, what? I didn't even realize that's a fucking thing. You're not a doctor. You can't have this. And I've never even heard.
I'm a Dr. Jim.
I've never even heard about that shit. And now I find out they never even fucking issued one. You getting that?
I was a Navy SEAL.
I earned this. I lost my left nut and nam. It was a syphilis, not a bullet.
Did you know that? Oh no, seriously. Did you know that the government has this chemical that they're injecting frogs with that turn them gay?
It's the same thing that's in the vaccine.
It's crazy, man.
It's the same thing. We're gonna be gay frogs. You like fish sticks?
I like fish sticks in my mouth.
Oh my god!
Tartar sauce.
Yeezy is getting divorced.
Oh, I saw that.
That shit's gonna be expensive as fuck. That's gonna be expensive.
That's the first thought, and that's fucking true.
Nobody cares that they're not together anymore. He's like, oh shit, that's gonna be expensive. He's gonna be off his meds. He's gonna write even dumber music. and all the rave kids are gonna go fucking crazy and do like EDM shit.
Vice versa, maybe him getting out of apparently a pretty toxic relationship. You know, there's always the truth usually lies somewhere in the middle. Obviously, he's got his mental issues and stuff, but I mean, nobody's innocent in these things. I mean, that they allow to go on. But I'm serious. A lot of people think there might be some of the best music that Kanye has ever put out. A lot of people don't know that Kanye actually used to put out good music.
I don't know. The whole world of politics, to me, is tainted because of the whole Bezos Island thing. I just read.
That was Epstein's Island.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I got Bezos mixed up.
I mean, they're both rich
fucking white people. White people all look the same.
Jeff Bezos kind of looks like Howie Mandel if he was like the villain in some type of like sci-fi novel or something.
Yes, without the liver spots on his forehead. Yeah. But I just saw something the other day that said that Courtney Love was on the fly list, that she's gone out there a couple times, that island. And that
wouldn't surprise me.
No. I know, that shit doesn't surprise me at all. I can see her just like cutting some virgin and drinking her blood to retain her youth.
Jesus Christ.
You know? I hate her. Oh, what else has been going on with you?
Man, just life, you know.
You been playing guitar lately?
Yeah, been playing the guitar. Me and Harley have been like working on some things to record some like SPK tracks and stuff like that. Like,
Harley playing guitar?
Yeah.
Okay, I just sold him a Zakk Wylde overdrive pedal.
Yeah. I told him he'd probably like that.
Yeah, that's right. You helped me on that sale. I owe you a 6-pack of Powerade for that one.
Powerade works.
I don't know what else you like. You got a Mountain Dew there and a Powerade.
That's a Gatorade. There's a difference.
Oh, what is that? Is that the cherry one?
Yeah, it is Glacier Cherry.
So good.
It's my favorite one. I'm gonna have a drink of it right now.
This drink sponsored by Gatorade.
Music-wise, though, you're in a band.
I am in a band,
but you recently had to change the name. So
oh God! So
what'd you settle on?
Well, when I started this band 3 years ago, I met up with some crazy guy who turned out to be a meth head, and I went to his apartment with my guitar, and we started jamming. And I was like, "Yeah, this is fun. You know, worst case scenario, we just play guitar and drink some beer." And that's when it hit me. It's like, "Oh, fucking worst case scenario." So I went out and I got the tattoo of the worst case scenario liquor bottle on my leg. And then once we started making t-shirts and music and putting it on YouTube and iTunes and Spotify, everything else, people started shutting down our page. Turns out my idea was so good for the band name that 7 other bands in America thought it was a good idea too. I never thought about just take it. So I just thought, all Sioux Falls and shit. It started getting more hits on iTunes, Spotify, and all these different places. And those bands started realizing that we exist. So we got fucking shut down, lost all these fans, everything else. And now we have to reinvite them all to our new band page. Our new band name is At the Altar with an A-A-L-T-A-R. And on Facebook, it's ATA 605. So now we had to change the band name, everything else, but we got some shows coming up. The best Sublime cover band in America.
Is it the one that's been here before?
Yes, sir.
40
Ounces of Freedom.
I forget the singer's name, but he does a really good job.
Does such a great job, man. They're gonna be at Biggs in February. I think February 25th. So I talked to the owner yesterday. Sounds like we might be opening up for them again.
Sure.
Last time we opened for them. Such a great crowd.
That was good. I think I was at that show. It was a
you
good
were.
time.
Yeah, you were in that battle.
That might have been one of the last times I drank.
Yeah. You did a really good job. And then we're gonna be doing out at Red in Rowena.
Forrest was telling me about that.
Playing for a bunch of bikers, and you know, I am not a biker. I had a motorcycle for a while, and it scared the fuck out of me. You know, bikers scare the fuck out of me, but I think that I'm just being small-minded, and I have to remember the bikers that I have met have scared the fuck out of me.
Fair enough, yeah.
Like, I knew a couple back in Iowa, and they were big motherfuckers, and they were rude, and they were mean, and they were racist. So I got that small mental block in my head thinking this is what the people are. So I'm excited to play bike night out at Rowena on May 26th and just go out and mingle with people. Find out what it's really about. Find out, everybody hears about these different chapters and it's just all war. I really doubt there's going to be a fucking shootout. It's not going to be the nightmare of the Altamont Rolling Stone situation, We're not going to have Hell's Angels for our security guards. We're going to be drinking $3 Coors Lights and chilling. So,
$3 Coors Lights.
yes.
That's America and capitalism at its finest.
Isn't it
You
great?
can get a $3 tall beer.
Oh, my God. You know what?
You know why? Because you could go to the gas station and you can get 6 of those tall beers for $6.
And you can go down.
Good for them.
You can go down a
Making
block.
money.
Yeah, you can go down a block and you can get 6 cheeseburgers for $6. And you can have a whole fucking awesome day to yourself. Or you can decide to eat one salad and pay $6 and still be fucking hungry. It's like, dude, I've been eating so much food during this whole quarantine. I got my quarantine 15.
Oh, sure.
God. And I've just been like smoking food in my Traeger and whatnot and eating and drinking. I've been drinking wild turkey lately. And it's so fucking good. I'm actually enjoying staying at home. But man, I miss playing live shows.
Me too. Me too.
Oh, I miss the stage. I was thinking about today. I was excited to come over and see you and do this. And I was thinking about what's up with your Blink-182 tribute band. Aliens Do Exist.
So Kyle had moved to Indiana and he's working for Sweetwater.
Yeah.
And so since then we've pretty much not done anything. We did get together a couple times, just me and Dylan and Zach. We're open to doing some things, but I mean, Dylan has he works for the hospital, so I mean, he works long hours, but he usually has time to do it. And then Zach is just a very busy person.
Yeah, he got
you know
a
what
new
I mean?
job though.
Oh yeah, he did just get a new job.
Yep.
Zach actually is gonna be a future contributor on the show as well.
Nice.
I talked to him about doing a Gronies segment. I
Oh,
really
cool.
I really like his Gronies. And
I've seen the shirts. He was just posting about that
yeah.
on Instagram.
Oh yeah, he's got those shirts.
Yeah. But I was thinking about that today at work. And I was thinking one of the funnest shows that I've been to with the Blink-182 cover band Aliens Do Exist is when you guys play at the Icon Lounge here in town. And they had a skate park set up inside the bar.
That was cool.
Fucking skateboards were going all around the place. You guys are up on the stage.
And we played the whole Enema of the State album for the 20th anniversary.
Yes, that was so much fun. That was a great show.
We even played a few more after that. That was fun.
Yep. God, I miss being up.
That's
on
probably
stage.
that might be the last show I ever played.
I think that's the last time I've seen you on stage. Yeah.
That was quite a while ago too. But no, I mean, we're open to doing some things. I mean, we've talked within the last couple months about doing some things when it works out and stuff. So I mean, I know at the very least we're probably gonna get together and try and do some jamming at some point. Yeah, I guess I just have to see what's going on. Really, it's working out schedules. We're three adults, so this doesn't always work. And I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, it's back together. It'll just be like a day. It's always fun.
Are you gonna get the vaccine?
I don't know yet. I have serious heart issues that could be complicated from these types of things. I'm not going to advocate against anyone that wants to get it. I think that should be a personal choice.
Yeah.
I do know that you hear all these people talking about how it's safe and stuff, and
How much do they get paid to say that?
I don't know. A lot of it could be paid a lot.
I like conspiracies.
Well, the problem is a lot of platforms are shutting down censorship and stuff when people talk about those types of things. But I mean, I think it's because some people are advocating against it, and I just think that with any medical decision, I think that's important that you should talk to your doctor about it and make the best choice for you. I'm not saying that I wouldn't necessarily get it. If I had to get it right now, I wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
But you got to see how these things are going to play out long term for some of these people that do have problems. So specifically, about half the country has like underlying conditions, you know what I mean? Whether that's diabetes or heart disease or high blood pressure. I mean, obesity is huge in our country. I mean,
No,
I'm a bit.
I get it.
It's a double on.
Obesity's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm a big person and stuff, but I mean,
Teddy bear.
oh yeah, but I mean, like, obviously, that's a pretty big deal. But I mean, we are a product of our environments, and
Yeah.
that's kind of.
Yep.
I'm not making excuses for being big. I've had plenty of opportunities in the past, but like once I had my heart attacks, it really took a lot out of me.
Yeah.
and-
Plus, fucking South Dakota winters are long and they're hard, man. You can get in a regiment and go walking every day, and it's fun and it's fucking fantastic when it's nice out and the birds are chirping. But this time of year, you could literally fucking die going outside to exercise. You could freeze to death
Absolutely.
and die. It's not worth that.
No.
No.
I do a pretty good job like maintaining like I gain a little bit of weight in the fall and winter months
do
and stuff,
too.
but I always
Yeah.
get it. It always falls right back off as soon as summer comes around.
Yep, outside more sweating and
Yeah.
shit. Fuck, you know what? This guy I work with was the other day saying that he thinks this vaccine is a trick to end the world.
And the
essentially.
oh jeez.
he thinks that what they did was the first people they gave it to was the doctors and everything else. He goes, so all the doctors, all the top surgeons and everything else have this in them already, and they don't know what's going to happen. He goes, so you imagine if these people all get some kind of weird side effect and die. What is the rest of the world going to do now that all of our top healthcare workers have had this vaccine and the side effects take them out? The rest of this world is just going to crumble because nobody's there to take care of you. What are you going to do? What happens tonight if you fall and you break your neck? And there's no doctors anymore.
That'd be bad.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm sure these doctors know a little bit about what's in the shit, and they're like, yeah, I'll do it.
Sure.
I don't think doctors would be like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'll take the vaccine and a pack of Marlboro Reds. Why not? I think it's gonna work out, but I don't personally want it. But I fear that they are gonna start implementing rules like you have to have your card, and if you want to leave the country, you can't fly. All these different elements. It's like a green card now.
Sure.
Where all of a sudden now you can't leave the country unless you had your vaccine. You can't fly in an airplane unless you have the vaccine. I fear that that's what's going to happen. Is that all of a sudden they're going to start putting rules and regulations behind it, where you have to have this to do these things.
I
could see America
I see
doing
those
that.
concerns 100%. That's a pretty scary thought to think about in all actuality, because like I was talking about, freedom is pretty important.
Yeah.
A lot of people have their own reasons for why they don't want to get this vaccine, and I think that they should respect that. A lot of the same people that advocate for women to have a choice with abortions, which I totally respect,
I'm
the woman's right to
pro-abortion.
choose.
Yep.
The thing is, it's not my
Nope.
issue to really have an opinion on. So what I think it's a freedom issue. I
Yep.
think don't get involved in their medical decisions. I think it's a similar response to this. I don't think you should be able to force it on people, but there's a lot of people who do want to force it on people.
I believe in abortion so much that I got a vasectomy, just so I would never ever have to have somebody have to make that choice.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so there, I fucking took care of it myself. Instead of one person like me and my girl. Let's say that we're together, the rest of our lives, and she somehow gets pregnant a couple times through all that whole thing, birth control, everything else. And now she has to sit there and be like, well, I don't want more kids, get an abortion. I'm not going to fucking make somebody do this over and over again where it's just one shot in the balls and you're fucking snip, done.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm totally, if your body, your choice, I just went and did it myself.
Sure.
So that way nobody else had to make that choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to be, and I think that should apply to all medical decisions. That should be between whoever you are and your doctor. It shouldn't be between anyone else. There's a lot of people that try to push religious influences into these types of
Oh,
things,
yeah.
and that's fine if you have those beliefs. I mean, but you shouldn't try and force other people to have those beliefs. Like,
Okay. All right, I hate to interrupt you again, but some of the same people that are saying that you shouldn't be able to have an abortion are praising someone who was born without any sex in the first place. You know?
yes,
So couldn't if Mary could just automatically become pregnant, could she then automatically just become aborted? Could she just miscarry it as well? You know? I think the whole myth of Christianity is hilarious to me. I just like to bring that up. But people that say that you had sex, you can't get an abortion now. Well, your God didn't even come from having sex; he just magically appeared. So I don't know. But I like your stance on it, though. I don't think that religion should be pushed into it. I think it should be between you and your partner, and what you think would be best. But would you want a kid in this country right now? Like, I'm afraid to send my kids to school because they might get fucking shot, or they might get shot. They might get, you know, caught up in all this coronavirus.
Sure.
And sick. My 17-year-old son, one of his best friends, is right now in a hospital in town in a coma with brain swelling because he got COVID, turned into pneumonia, and now his brain is swelling.
oh geez,
So a week ago, I was cracking jokes about coronavirus, saying, there's a better chance that you can survive coronavirus than the condom breaking. And how many fucking condoms have we used? It's like, it's going to be fine. I'll put a condom on it. You have a better chance of, living through it than that happening. But now it's not, oh shit, she's pregnant. It's, okay, my 17-year-old son's in the hospital with brain swelling. So I don't know if I'm afraid of it or not.
sure. I think there's a lot of viewpoints and opinions on COVID. I know that what's weird to me is that you have people that could have like diabetes and all these different types of like pre-existing conditions, and they could live a long, healthy life, no problem. Like, yeah, they have diabetes, but like that's manageable. Like your grandma could live to be 80, 90 years
Yeah.
old, but instead at 60 she gets the COVID. You know what I mean? And she
Yeah.
passes away from it. I understand a lot of the measures that have been put in place. I don't really agree with lockdowns and stuff. I think we've been pretty fortunate in South Dakota. I do think that the lockdown was probably more important to do at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was, you know what I mean? They're trying to act like it's more important now than it was before. And it's like, well, originally the idea was to mitigate the flow to the hospitals and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
obviously. And I could see that, you know what I mean? But I think we've realized that shutting down the economy has obviously hurt things a lot more than it's helped,
Yep.
especially when a lot of these people can't even make their livelihood. Small businesses have
Oh,
been
yeah.
shit on
Yep.
completely during this.
Absolutely. I know. It sucks so man.
Oh yeah, people just you live paycheck to paycheck. A lot of small business owners don't really make that much.
No.
I mean, they clear enough to get by and stuff, but they don't necessarily have just all this money set aside like these big corporations have,
Right.
And then the government will bail out all these big crony corporations and stuff. But I mean, anytime that a normal person asks for help, it's like, well, we don't believe in handouts.
Yeah, here's $600. That lasts a year.
$600.
Yep. I know it. I got home today and I got my new Guitar Player magazine. I was super excited about that. And then I saw what I assume was some fake ass check. I'll entertain the idea, and I opened it up, and it was signed by old fucking Donnie T. And I was like, all right, well, it's worth it. I'll drive down the bank, and I got there, and I fucking signed the back of it, and I handed it to some kid in a fucking tie. So yeah, I just want to deposit this. And I quick turned away and started playing my phone. He's like, okay. A couple minutes later, he came back, and he's like, all right, there you go, Mr. Wallinga. and he handed me back my card and shit and a receipt, and it was in there. I'm like, that fucking worked? That thing was real? Like, I was waiting for him to go down there and be like, oh, no, I'm sorry, this isn't real.
We don't accept Monopoly money.
Yeah, exactly. This is a silly check. He's not even president. What do you think about the
I mean, technically he is president until tomorrow.
Is it?
Tomorrow, right?
I don't know.
It's the 20th is when the inauguration is.
That's tomorrow.
Because
today I got my period, and that's the 19th.
Oh,
so
sure.
Tomorrow, yeah, the 20th.
I still haven't gotten mine, so I'm a little nervous.
Ooh, well, it's our choice.
If anything, I'll go find Chef's mom, and she'll take care of me.
Tree fitty.
She charged me about tree fitty.
I had a really cool thing that I wanted to do. I just wrote down like 15 random questions that I'm going to ask you. Hypothetically, of course.
Okay.
Would you be the docker or the dockee?
Ooh, I'd be the docker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second question. Favorite historical tyrant?
I don't know what a tyrant is.
It'd be like
I feel stupid.
a person that led like an oppressive regime in a country, like killed people and stuff like that. You know, that'd be like
Genghis Khan.
Okay.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, man. He fucking did it, and he did it well. He did it well.
For a while.
Favorite dinosaur, and there are no wrong answers except for that one.
Why?
I'm just kidding. I was gonna say that no matter what you said.
I like Triceratops.
Okay.
Fucking triple horn, man.
Sure, man. Triceratops is dope. You know, the trifecta. You know.
Land before time.
Yeah, man. He could hurt people. A big, strong guy. It's like the guy you don't expect. It's like Barry Sanders.
Right.
Barry Sanders was a dinosaur.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Barry Bonds.
Oh, okay.
Barry Sanders was the running back for the Lions.
Oh my God! I can't believe I messed that up.
Yes,
he
a
was.
little upset with Mr. Football.
I was thinking Barry Bonds.
Mr. Football's better than basketball, and you thought I was talking about baseball. Jeez. It's okay. It's all right, though.
Okay.
Next question.
All right.
Boxers or briefs?
I have both.
Okay.
I wear boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs. Okay, the combo. The combo. I used to wear those.
Okay.
At one point, it just started to get too uncomfortable down there.
Yeah.
You know how it is, you know, like
summertime.
Well, not even as no, just more like, you know what I mean, like when shit starts falling out and like when it's like hitting your feet and stuff. And,
you don't want to trip over it, step on it.
Anyway.
Yeah, but my thing is, I like to wear boxers if I know I'm gonna get lucky.
Okay.
Because then I have more room to grow.
You can stick right through the hole too.
Right.
They don't really like that, but
they
it's
don't
okay.
know you didn't shave. Let's just pretend.
Just is it okay if I keep the pants on?
Do you remember that from Chappelle's show?
Yes.
The trading spouses. Oh man, Dave Chappelle is a fucking icon, man. I was watching this little. He is like a little animated stand up of like one of his little clips, and he was talking about Dave Chappelle. Like he came home from. I don't know if it was like a tour or just a couple of show run that he did or whatever. He comes home and everyone's supposed to be there, but nobody's home. They all knew when he was going to be home, but nobody was there. And he's like, all right. So he said he did the one thing that he's never done to his son is he like went and looked through his shit.
Yeah.
He started like looking around. He found like some poem. Man, you write poetry? Nah. He winds up going in his dresser and he finds some rolling papers or whatever. Takes them back. He said he went upstairs and rolled up some weed that he had hidden from the family and got real baked. And then he got real paranoid, so he went and put the papers back exactly like he found them. And he's like, his son doesn't even know that happened until this special airs.
Who's your favorite comedian?
Dave Chappelle.
All right, mine's Anthony Jeselnik.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones out there. I mean, it's all really dependent upon like what kind of comedy you like.
I like dark shit.
I like a lot of dark comedy. I think you should be able to joke about pretty much anything. Like obviously,
Yeah, grow up.
like you
Get your finger out of your
there's
ass.
certain
You know?
there's certain things that like certain people aren't allowed to say, and like obviously you should respect those. I get it. You know, you want to say certain stuff, but we don't need to say those words.
You mean nipple?
Nipple.
I won't say nipple.
Oh,
Next
shit.
question.
We just said it.
Damn it.
Anyway, but on a serious note, like I think comedy is important. It's like one of the last defenses I think, against like a shitty world and shitty life. Comedy is like something that just alleviates the pain a little bit.
Right.
Comedy is like aspirin or something.
Yeah. All right, next question. Hot fire.
Do aliens exist?
Yes. Best fucking cover band I've ever seen in my life.
Bonus points for you there.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, I'm deep on that one.
Favorite South Park moment?
Favorite South Park moment is probably when Randy gets into the fist fights.
I thought this was America. And there's the one time when he's in Mexico fighting, and he's like, I thought this was America. It's like, what?
Yeah, my second favorite South Park episode moment was when Russell Crowe comes on. Making music's fighting around the world.
Tugger!
He's got his boat, Tugger, and his fucking tugboat kills himself.
Who's your Tugger?
Oh, Tugger!
That was fucking hilarious.
Yep. That was one of my favorite ones. Is when fucking he was singing his songs together. His fucking partner crying with a tugboat.
What are you looking at?
Hey, you walked through my shop, mate. Now we gotta fight.
Ow.
Oh my God, Russell Crowe. Oh my God, Russell Crowe.
Oh my God, it's Russell Crowe.
Come here.
Best dancer, Bruno Mars or Chris Brown? Doesn't beat.
Yes. And because he's secret gay.
He's what?
He's secret gay.
He's secret gay?
I think so. He's too pretty.
He's too pretty.
I'm attracted to him. So if he's not gay, maybe I am. I don't know. But I think he is a little bit. He's got a little
Maybe
bit
he's
of that.
just androgynous enough that
You mean like Prince?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should put him and Macaulay Culkin in the same room and see what happens.
Oh, I mean, he's a pretty man.
He's a handsome man. He can sing.
And he can dance.
He's fresher than what is he? Smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy. That's what he says in one of his songs.
I enjoy Skippy peanut butter.
I do too.
It's a good thing.
I think Bruno Mars is super talented, man. Yo, Julio, get the stretch. Not one of his song lyrics.
Tell me something interesting.
I shave my ass, but I don't know why. Because nobody sees it. But I do it anyway.
Fair enough.
Like, nobody looks at it. But it's just like, I feel like it's rude.
Is there like a routine? Is there like a...
There's a separate clippers that
Okay.
I hide in my laundry room.
Okay.
So that way I don't confuse them and use them on my mustache. And, yeah, I shave her up, clean her up. I don't know why, though. There's no real reason.
You just started one day?
Yep, and now I can't go back.
Well, you got this. Otherwise, you got that big old Wolverine patch that just
Right.
grows in, right?
Plus, then it feels like trying to wipe peanut butter out of a fucking shag carpet every time you go to poop.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why. Nobody ever looks at it. It's a real shame.
I like that. I was not expecting that. That was
Tell me-
that's interesting.
I want yours. Tell me something interesting.
Uh,
First thing, top of the head.
Did you know that kangaroos are a real animal?
Yes.
Even more
And
importantly,
they have pockets.
they have pockets.
I saw something the other day, a meme, and it was God creating a kangaroo. Mary. Oh my God, it's so cute. Thanks, it has pockets.
All right, fuck, marry, kill.
Mm.
Dave Grohl, Kurt Cobain, and Zach Wilde.
Fuck. You shit.
I thought about this one
You
with the
shit
three
bird.
hardest ones that I could think of.
Okay, I'd fuck Kurt because he's the smallest, and he seems like he'd be the most like a woman. I would kill Zach to take his powers, and I married Dave because I think we'd have a lot to talk about.
Okay. Okay. All right. No, I thought about that one. I was like, who are the three most fucked up like people that I know that he likes?
Okay.
Likes all these people.
My turn. Fuck, marry, kill. Tom DeLonge.
I would probably kill Matt Skiba because he would appreciate it the most.
Oh my God.
And
videos?
Yeah.
Is he sad?
Yeah, I mean, like
sad.
he seems like the darkest, emoest one. I've seen a lot of crazy videos, and I think if one of them had to go, I think he'd be the one,
Okay.
and I think he would appreciate it more.
All right.
I'd probably fuck Tom DeLonge.
Would it be a hate fuck, or would it
No,
be a romantic thing?
It would be sensual. It'd be very sensual. And then I would marry Mark Hoppus for the same reason that you would marry Dave Grohl, because I think we'd have a lot to talk about. And then also because half of everything he has becomes mine, and that would mean I would at least get one of those P basses.
You would get a P bass. I would think you would get a P bass on probably your wedding night. He'd probably P bass your face, like R. Kelly.
Well, so you already kind of covered this a little bit.
Okay.
But what's on the musical front?
We just got 2 more songs back from the studio.
Okay.
So those are fucking super hot and heavy, awesome. One of which our very extremely talented bass player, and your previous bass player, and your bass player as well, Russ Jacobson, he wrote a song on guitar. So I have the chance now where he recorded that, so when we play it live, I play bass.
He recorded that song?
He recorded the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rustoleum is what he called it. But so now I get to play a little bit of bass, which has really turned me on to playing bass.
Sure.
So I went out and I got a Dean bass, and I got that and an orange 50-watt bass amp, and I've been playing a lot of bass lately, and it's super fun and relaxing. There's not as many strings to fucking worry about muting and playing everything else, like big old honking cables to pluck. But I can't slap and pluck like Les Claypool.
It's hard.
I can't do this shit. Right away, first thing I learned was, the first thing they actually learned was Silver by Nirvana. But the thing that I just learned is All the Small Things.
Oh, sure.
And Santa Monica by Everclear.
Oh, yeah. Forrest told me you were doing that song. I really like Everclear.
And I'm learning a whole bunch of covers right now from like the 80s and stuff like that to, please the bikers for bike night.
Sure.
And I never realized how many fucking guitar gods there was in the 80s. Like my biggest dude was Randy Rhoads.
Sure.
That was the fucking hero. But my real icon was Kurt Cobain. But if we're talking about like real like shredders, it's always been Randy Rhoads. And then Zach, you said you starting to do some more shit with Harley. Anything else? Make some more music?
Yeah.
Because I know you had a little bit of a block going on for a bit.
Yeah, just not, when you don't have people to make music with, that like you have to have a vibe. Like you can't just make music with anybody. You could, you know what I mean, but it's not going to be meaningful music. And I was very spoiled to work with people that were like close friends that were also really good at music.
Yeah.
So I was very spoiled for a long time. And then when you all of a sudden you don't have that anymore, it just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So like sometimes like you'll be in the middle of writing something and you'll just like lose it, and you don't practice as much when you're not getting together, because like when you're getting together you have a reason to practice.
Yep. You don't want to sound like shit at practice and not be the only person who didn't learn the song.
And it sucks to say that because it makes it seem like you don't care about the music, and it's like it's not that you don't care about the music, it's just that I don't care to start getting cool idea in my head and then not be able to finish it, or I don't know.
I totally get that idea, because when I first started playing guitar and everything else, I was in a small ass town in Iowa, and there's only one other person to play guitar with, and he's kind of a dick. So I didn't want to fucking play guitar with him. So you kind of lose interest because there's nobody around.
Yeah.
And then you move to Sioux Falls, and there's a fucking 1,000 guitar players and 5 drummers. So you really got to
4 drummers.
Yeah, you really got to pick and choose your fucking drummer, and every bass player can always transition between guitar and bass. It seems like those guys are fucking multi-talented.
Yeah. The joke with the drummers though is that like everybody says that they're a drummer, but nobody has a drum kit.
Right. You know what? When I was auditioning people for the band, we'd have guys show up to try to play bass, and they wouldn't even have a fucking bass amp, or I forgot my cable. This is my buddy's bass. I don't actually have one. What the fuck are you talking about? What if we had to play this weekend? Well, I wouldn't have enough stuff. Get the fuck out of here. Like, why would you even say, yeah, I want to join your band. Can I play your guitar and amp?
It's like a job interview, you know. Like
Yeah.
if you're like going to a job, you wouldn't go there and be like, "Oh well,
I don't have boots. I
I
don't
don't-
have shoes. I don't know.
oh, I actually have to do something."
Yeah. So I want to make burritos, but I lost my arms in the war. Is that cool? Or just use my nose? Like, what the fuck? You have to have the right tools for the right job.
Sure. A lot of people want to be in a band, but a lot of people don't want to put in the work.
People just want to bang chicks. That's what it is. People want to get into a band and like all of a sudden they think they're gonna be rich and they're gonna be fucking all these chicks two at a time. It's not at all. You know, it's a lot of fucking practice, a lot of work, and you only play a certain amount of time, and then after that, you're taking all your shit off the stage and you're trying to load it up into your car and you're saying hi to people, you drink a couple beers, and you're trying to do shit as fast as you can to get back to the stage to see the next band. It's not that at all. You're all sweaty and stinky. No,
And tired.
There's no money. There's no fucking banging. There's none of that shit. It's a fucking part-time job, and you better like your employees because you're all going to be stuck in a van together for a long time if shit goes right. You know, you're going to struggle together. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's
Yeah.
so much fun to make music. Love it.
It's fun when you have a group of people to play with. There's just something about having all the instruments together that,
Yep.
like, it's fun to play guitar with a friend and stuff like that. But like when you have like a whole band together and like the rhythm section's just rocking, you know, both guitars are going good, and you got a killer vocalist. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't go wrong with that.
Yep, there's a feeling that you get in that it's just it's irreplaceable, man. It's just so much fucking fun. I don't know. I think even but you're right, even when you're at home and you're playing, it's still fun, but I have to put on like YouTube or whatever and listen to a drum beat
Sure.
to create new music.
I do that a lot.
I always go on YouTube and I look up different drummers playing different kind of music at a certain BPM, and that's how I write stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just kind of random like that. Then nothing wrong with that.
No.
Just come up with a BPM or a drum beat you like.
Yeah, and just riff off of it,
Nothing wrong with that.
and it's gonna suck, but nobody's there to say that. And then sometimes it's good. And out of like one out of every, I don't know, 5 songs that I write, I present it to the band, and it turns into a whole band song.
Sure.
The other 4 just stay on the goddamn couch because that was shitty. But I do think we should get together and write some fart and dick songs. You know, sometimes like some Family Guy. Have you ever seen when him and Quagmire started?
Have you
their
ever
own
put
band?
butter on a Pop-Tart?
Oh, it's so friggin' good. I don't want a big penis or a rocket ship to Venus. I just want a Pop-Tart with the jelly. Yeah. But I don't know. I always think that these guys that can just shred all day, I don't feel like they're real people. Like you see them on YouTube and they're just all over the place. It's like,
It's a glitch in the Matrix, my friend.
I know it. I don't know.
I am Morpheus.
I don't know if they got lucky and they were just adopted by, you know, a set of gay people where they could just get like full-time love instead of the male-female fighting all the time.
Dude,
like we grew up with.
You know the weird thing is like so they're always trying to prevent gay people from adopting,
Which is fucked.
but they're always trying to get people to give their kids up for adoption.
Yeah.
But it's like they don't want these kids to go to a single gender parent
Yeah.
home. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get that.
I don't
mean,
understand that at
I've
all.
met a lot of people that had 2 dads or 2 moms and stuff like that, and they turned out just fine.
Yeah.
If you got love, you got love, man. That's all that matters.
Well, put it this way. There's people out there that have had 2 moms or 2 dads, and they turned out fucking amazing. We had 2 moms and 2 dads. Look how fucked up we became. You know, we're product of divorce. I've had several dads.
Sure.
Dads. But yeah.
I've had several dads.
It's just like these people that they want to love a kid and they got the money and they got the stability. Give them a fucking kid. Oprah, you get a kid and you get a kid, you know?
Right. They just make it so hard for people that sometimes if you don't have like 30 grand even just laying around, you
Yeah.
can't adopt a kid. It's like, if it's such a big deal, they're always talking about how they don't have enough parents and stuff for all these kids. They got all these kids and all these kids that
Yeah.
don't have homes and stuff, you know what I mean? But they're always preventing like
Yeah.
loving families from getting to them. It's all just because of a religious based thing, and it's like
Right.
that's just ridiculous. I get your religious freedoms and stuff, but stop pretending that you care about life if you're not willing to help people with wherever you can get it.
And if you got so many kids, fucking do a BOGO every once in a while.
Do a BOGO.
Buy one, get one. My sister.
The second one's only going to be $10,000.
He's not as smart. My sister and brother-in-law, they adopted a little boy, my nephew Jack, and he is super cool, super smart, everything else. Blows people's mind because he's a little black guy. He's a little African American guy, and he is super fucking cute. But my sister and my brother-in-law, they own a huge dairy operation in Iowa. So they are to the T dairy farmer looking people, and so is my niece. And they got this little cool fucking my nephew, Jack, walking around with them. And people are like looking at him like, oh, what happened? You know, what? Oh, it looks like, maybe she left and everything else and got pregnant and everything else came back. No, they're amazing fucking people. They went out and adopted a kid. They're like, yeah, we have enough money. We have enough love. We want another kid to share that with.
Sure.
And it's fucking great. I love
Absolutely.
that opportunity. Someone
Absolutely.
said, I don't want this fucking kid.
Well,
And they're
imagine
like,
there's a
"We're
lot of
fucking-"
people out there that they can't even have kids. Like,
Yeah.
whether like, for instance, like there's lots of different medical conditions that could prevent a man or a woman from being able to have kids. Like, whether that's endometriosis or there's multiple things. But I mean, that one's pretty common from the ones that I've heard about. Like that's a pretty common reason why women are not can't have kids. And it's not anything that you can do about it. So imagine if you could give a parent or just anyone that opportunity to become a parent. Like, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We need to streamline those operations. Like, obviously you need to vet people and make sure they're not like shitty people, but I mean there's shitty people of all varieties.
Oh yeah, all shapes and colors. Have you seen the Key and Peele skit?
Probably.
Where he's walking up and Peele walks up to him and he's like, "Sir, do you have a moment to talk to you about these kids?" And he's like, "No, I'm on my way to work. I'm really busy." He goes, "Sir, for only $1, you can save a kid's life."
I just
and
saw
he's like,
this skit.
I don't have time. And else. He's like, "Sir, for $1, you can save a kid's life." And he's like, "Fine, here's 5. I'll save 5 kids' life." He's like, "Okay." And he walks in the radio. He's like, "Bring him up here." And a van shows up, and they fucking throw 5 kids out, and the 6th one's coming out. He's like, "Nope, not you." Throws back in the van. And then also he's like, "Oh my God, I have more money. I have more money." It's like, can you imagine if it's just that simple where you show people, these are the fucking kids you're feeding. My grandma, she always had a little kid in Africa where she sponsored, and the kid would write her notes. And we go over there, and she would have notes on her fridge for some little kid, and he would draw her pictures, and she sponsored this kid. And I always thought that was the sweetest fucking thing, is they have this commercial out there where you can send money to the less fortunate, if you're fortunate, and give them a better life. I think the same thing's true with adoption. If you can do it, fucking do it.
Sure.
Yeah, but people are like, "Oh, you can't believe in abortion and adoption." Yeah, I can. This is goddamn America. And I can believe whatever the fuck I want. And I just think if you don't want to have a kid and you don't want to give the kid up for adoption, you should have an abortion. But if you want to give it for adoption, fucking awesome. That's great. It's better than you fucking up the kid's life.
Sure.
Give it to some stable people. So I don't know. I like that there's freedoms like that. But I feel like people abuse the powers as well because you hear all these, I love mystery fucking murder shows and stuff like that. And I watched one the other day about these people who were fostering kids. But then I'm like fucking locked up in the basement.
Oh,
and
yeah.
beating shit out of them, not feeding them and everything else just for that check. That shit fucking scares the hell out of me.
Right, that's fucked up.
I got 5 fucking kids. That shit scares me. I can't find cages that big. Like, it scares me. Like, is there a site that I'm not going to that I could find bigger cages? Because my kids are fucking growing out of theirs. I need to tap into that market. God damn. But no, seriously, it does freak me out that people are abusing the whole foster element of stuff.
Sure.
Like, I don't think I could even foster a dog. Like, if I brought a dog into my house and I loved it, I'd be like, "Okay, some other family wants you, fuck off." Like, I can't even imagine doing that with a kid. Be like, oh, I love you. I love you too. Get out.
That'd be rough.
Yeah. Be so harsh. I better just have just straight up adoption. I guess fostering might be okay, but I don't hear good stories about it.
Sure.
So I don't know how I feel about that. Ugh, it's freaky stuff. Do you get more speedball questions?
I have a few more questions. Yeah.
Let's do it.
What are you looking forward to in 2021?
Concerts. I want to go see Rage Against the Machine at the Denny.
Me too.
On July 3rd.
I don't remember what day it is. I know that they
July
reissued a date.
something.
Me and Nolan next door or whatever, we're gonna go to that as long as everything works out. We bought our tickets a long time ago. We were gonna try and get the refund, but like they made it so difficult to even apply for the refund. Oh man. Well, there was no way to do it. Like they said, you gotta do all this, and all these different steps, and like couldn't even fucking do it.
Fuck that noise, man.
Because I mean, 2 tickets was almost $300.
Yeah, I gotta see Rage. I
Yeah.
always want to see Rage. I never thought it was gonna happen.
It'd be good.
What about you? What are you looking for 2021?
I'm looking forward to doing more episodes of this podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe meeting some new people through it and stuff. And
pot.
yeah, like that's the biggest goal with something like this. It's just like I want to stir the pot, have some uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe make people think a little bit. Realize that. Start thinking more about what you have in common than all the differences. Because if you focus on the couple of things that you differ with somebody about when you agree with them on almost everything else, I mean, you're just kind of arguing semantics at that point.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
I think if you don't like somebody, you can find a million reasons to hate them.
Yeah.
But if you like them, you can put a lot of that shit aside. Like, yeah, he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that, and I do. But we're still fucking buddies.
Sure.
Like, hell yeah, I get along with that guy.
And you don't have to like everyone, but I mean,
Most people
there's
are
no
shit
reason
anyways.
to go out of your way to treat like shit.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion,
Yep. You're not better than anybody. And if you think you are, you're fucking worse than them.
You know who we are better than?
Who?
Pedophiles.
Yes, we are. Oh my god.
But only by a little bit because we don't fuck kids.
Right? But would you would you have sex with a midget?
I mean,
There's an answer.
I wouldn't say that I wouldn't,
Okay.
but I wouldn't just
So
say
then-
that I would either.
I would.
I wouldn't just have sex with any random person. You know, what I mean, there
Yeah,
there has to
I
be a
get that.
connection.
Right. If there's a connection.
I'm also
though.
married though, so I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean that if I wasn't married, you know what I mean, and a midget came around and there was like an attraction, sure, I'd bang a midget.
But I saw something the other day on TikTok of the world's smallest woman.
Is that word derogatory, midget? I don't think
shit.
I don't think
Yeah,
you're supposed to say midget.
Well, I'm not sure, and if you're not supposed to, I apologize. Small person,
Small person, sure. Little person.
vertically challenged. I don't know what to say here.
They're able to reach the Crispix.
Anyways, I saw a video the other day, and it was the world's smallest woman with her husband, and I was like, "Oh my god, she's like 2.5 feet tall." It looks like a little kid, and I thought to myself, "Wait a minute, is this the cure for pedophiles?" Like people that our fire chief was watching
Oh,
child
shit.
pornography.
Jim Sedaris, I remember
Yes.
reading about that.
Yeah, our fire chief got busted watching child pornography, and so
And
did
it all
our
seemed like it all just got swept under the rug.
yeah, and so did our richest fucking person in town, Denny Sanford, had child pornography on one of his tablets.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
I was thinking to myself, because somebody said there's no cure for it, but what about little people? What if you found somebody that you loved and they were a smaller person? Would that fulfill that?
I don't think
that
it would.
thing?
You're also like might be pushing some weird people on some small persons that don't deserve.
That's
Those
true.
little people don't deserve that
No,
shit.
fuck no. They're people too.
They don't, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if anyone didn't know, South Dakota's Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg killed a guy.
Fucking ran him over, hit him with the
He
car.
killed a guy, and he's currently like real close to getting away with it because that's how it works in South Dakota. If you are part of the state party, you get away with things, and if you have enough money, you get away with things. Imagine that a normal person like supposedly accidentally didn't know what they hit in the middle of the night. It turned out to be a person, and you'd be arrested the next day. It's 4 months later, and they still haven't decided what to do with these charges.
When was the last time you hit a deer with your car and then called 911? I've hit 4. I've hit 4 deer. Never once did I call 911 because it's a deer. You would call the DNR.
You might need to call.
If you think it's a human, then you would call 911. So I think he knew he hit a human, and then called 911, freaked out, and said, "Oh, I hit a deer," and then left the car and left the scene, and came back the next day. But the car was like moved further away and everything else. He drove a ways.
Weirdly, too, was like the very first statement that he put out that a lot of people seem to forget about. He put out a statement that he drove straight home right after it happened or whatever, and then like 2 days later, the story was that he borrowed the sheriff's car.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's a little bit weird, but
That's sketchy.
I mean, obviously, you know, sometimes you have to put out a formal statement, and like that's different, you know, like after you've already said something. But I don't think that you're allowed to backtrack those types of comments that were in a public forum. I mean, and just in my opinion, I think the dude deserves to keep. He's a murderer, you know.
He needs to get beat.
A murderer. 5 greatest rappers of all time.
Number 1 is, oh my God, Krispy Kreme. If you haven't heard of Krispy Kreme, look up Krispy Kreme. Number 2, I would have to say my favorite is Eminem. I like Eminem. I
Okay.
think he's fun because he's funny.
He melts in your mouth, not
he
in your
was
hand.
funny. I heard a new song by him called Nat, and he said, God, what was it? It's all about coronavirus and everything else, and he's talking about these bars are coming right off the bat, and I thought it was clever as fuck. So Krispy Kreme, Eminem. I really like Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Who?
What was it? 381 or 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low because Mike Jones about to blow. And then I gotta say Tupac because I never listened to rap ever, and then I started listening to him, and it was all the crazy shit like Hit 'Em Up and everything else. And my ambitions as a rod. And my 5th one is Eazy-E.
Okay.
How about you?
Well, I mean, if I had to be 100% honest, I'd just have to tell you about the 5 greatest rappers of all time is Dylan, and Dylan, because he spit hot fire.
Dylan. You're too close, man.
He spits hot fire.
You're too close.
Next question. Where's the beef?
It better be in the middle of my fucking burger.
Dude,
'Cause
for
I don't
real.
play that shit.
What about, have you read about this, like, government grown meat? Not government grown meat, but, like, scientifically grown meat. You know what I mean?
The fake burgers?
Yeah.
So I went to Burger King, and I bought a Ultimate Whopper, the fake meat, and a Whopper.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the Impossibles. Like, that's, like, the non-meat alternative. I'm talking, like, they're actually, like, taking, like, beef and chicken and pork and stuff like that, and they're, like, growing lab-grown meat. Like, I'm not 100% sure if they're, like, growing the animals, like, in a cloning process, or if they have a way to just produce the meat.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're doing this right now.
That's fucked. I didn't know that.
Well, it's a big thing. They're talking about trying to, like, sell unlabeled meats and stuff, and it's, like, a big thing that people are worried about.
Who's the bitch that cloned her dog like 6 times already?
I don't know.
Is it Barbara
Was it?
Walters?
It was Mindy Crenshaw and Drake and Josh. Remember, she cloned the cockapoo, and she said that she technically has cockapie because she has 2 of them.
True. We are Robert Pie.
Let me. This is a fun question. Tell me something weird that you hate, but you don't have a reason why. You just every time you think about it, you just fuck that thing.
I would have to say, I'm trying to think of my biggest one.
Something that just pisses you off every time you think about it. You don't know
Fucking
why.
Nazis. But I know why I fucking hate Nazis.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Another thing that I fucking hate is rich people.
Rich people.
I fucking hate rich people.
you fucking bigot.
God, they're the fucking worst, man. Like, give my kids something better when we fucking trick or treat in your shitty village, anyways. I hate rich people because I think that the ones that I've met have become so arrogant. It's just, it fucking pisses me off. And I feel like I work really hard and I don't get those things. So that's why I don't like rich people.
Sure. Okay.
What about you? Also baseball. Baseball fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, I don't really like baseball that much.
Hate it.
I think baseball is a lot more fun to watch in person than it is to like watch on TV. Cause
baseball's fun to play, but Jesus Christ, 100 and some games a year.
Well, if you watch it on TV too, like each game like is still going on, like because of all the commercials and shit, like 7 hours after the game's over.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Got another one over there?
What?
You got another one?
I got one last question. What's the thing that you missed the most before COVID?
Fucking concerts, man.
It's a pretty common one. I feel you there.
Concerts, sure.
Me too. Just being able to go to shows and listening to music and stuff.
Just going out and fucking seeing new bands.
Sure.
I mean, I've gone out a couple times and I've seen some really shitty metal bands. I saw a band called Blumpkin Pie. I'm not making that name up.
God.
They're Blumpkin Pie, and they were a death metal cover band. So apparently, because somebody else told me that, my drummer told me that those were like acid bath songs and whatnot, and I have no idea. I don't know an acid bath song, but they were called Blumpkin Pie. And it was fucking dude. But even going out and seeing a shitty band is better than just sitting at fucking home wishing you're doing something fun. Just because you're afraid. You know, I miss leaving my house because I'm supposed to be afraid. Everybody is like being hate mongers because you go into one store and they yell at you for wearing a mask. You go to the next one, they're yelling at you because you're not wearing a mask. And it's I don't know who I'm supposed to be anymore in public.
Yeah, I feel that. The way I look at it is if a store requires that you wear that, to me that's their rules. I mean, no one says shit when they tell you no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Right.
I mean, I don't like them. I don't fucking appreciate masks. I think they fucking they hurt for like people like me that have heart problems and stuff. I work in a kitchen, which is where I predominantly have to wear my mask. And, like, imagine that you're standing over, like, a broiler and a flat top and being around hot stuff all day. And, I mean, you're already in a place where there's, like, occasionally, like, gas and stuff is coming off. That's why they have to have a hood system going in kitchens because that shit can make people sick. Combination of that with, like, masks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There hasn't been any studies done on that, so, like, nobody really knows what could happen. But I definitely feel like my quality of health has gone down since I've had to wear masks. So, like, I definitely can feel the difference, like, when I'm at home and able to not wear one. I personally choose not to really go a lot of places where there's a lot of people anyway.
Yeah.
Because of the whole COVID stuff, you know, like, having heart problems and stuff. I obviously, if I get it, I get it. It is what it is, you know what I mean? But if I can avoid it, I'm definitely going to do the best I can.
Oh, yeah, I would, too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really it. Do you wanna? We could find one of your guys' songs on YouTube or something, or
Yeah, we can definitely do that. We can pull up that. Otherwise,
I can screen share it on my thing, and Devin can put my screen up.
Do you want to look up? We made a video in my garage for Witchcraft Whore. That's a fun song.
antagonizing, your actions victimizing, terrified, don't look at me that way. You are bold and unrelenting, beautiful yet disenchanting, weaponized and pointing at me. Pull down into resignation. I'm driven by your eye. Undying, mystifying lore. Black magic, masking tragic lore. Her mouth is full of words you can't ignore. Oh, the witchcraft hole. Is it over yet? All set in motion, remnants of your wicked potion flowing through my veins. Far from innocent, we'll never see the end. It's everlasting, blinded by the spell you're casting. Into resignation, I'm driven by your light. Undying, mystifying lore. Black magic, masking tragic lore. Her mouth is full of words you can't ignore. Witchcraft whore. Giving all will the mother goddess, bear her scarlet letter. Push her willow down and pave the way for the rest of us. And all the rest will fall. Undying, mystifying lore. Black magic, masking tragic lore. Her mouth is full of words you can't ignore. Witchcraft whore. Witchcraft whore. Lay down the witchcraft whore.
Put the fucking dress on.
Put the damn dress
You're
on,
fucking
you
wearing.
bitch!
I'm not gonna.
You're wearing the fucking dress.
Come on.
All right. Well, that was pretty cool.
Thank you.
Anyway, you want to give just a few more words about your band, and then we'll be done with the
Oh.
episode.
My 21 hopes is that you and I can write a couple fun little fart and dick songs together, and the band gets to play some shows, and everybody gets out of quarantine, and life gets back to the way it's supposed to be. Absolute chaos, but not from our couches anymore, out on the streets.
All right. Well,
Peace and hope, love and dope.
Cool, man. Thanks for being on. I appreciate it. We'll have to do this again sometime.
I appreciate it. I had a fucking blast. I always do come over to Bobo's.
All right, everybody. That's the first episode. Hopefully you enjoy. There'll be more to come. We'll see you next time.